Well, good evening, members. Before I open the meeting, please can I ask any members or officers in physical attendance with an electronic device to mute it to avoid feedback, please? And any remote participants, could you please keep your camera and microphone off unless you wish to speak? And please note the meeting will be recorded and data collected during the recording of the meeting will be returned in accordance with the Council's data retention policy. The recording of the meeting may be added to the Council's website. Members accessing the meeting remotely should use a Swelborough Council or Kent County Council laptop to participate virtually. If you join using a link on the website or on a mobile and tablet device, it is not possible to identify you, and you will not be recorded as being in remote attendance. Members could ask you to speak loudly and clearly into your microphones and to switch your microphone off after speaking, otherwise remote participants may be unable to hear the next speaker. Well, welcome everyone to this extraordinary Policy and Resources Committee meeting, including visiting members and those attending remotely and members of the public, of course. The following staff are in attendance: the Chief Executive, Larissa Reid, Director of Resources, Lisa Fillery, Monitoring Officer, Robin Harris, Head of Housing and Community Services, Charlotte Hudson, and Democratic Electoral Services Manager, Joe Millard. There is no fire drill planned this evening, so if the alarm sounds, those in attendance should leave via the exits indicated. And I think you're all too well acquainted for me to have to go through that with you. Just one reminder, please remember, do not use the lifts on any account if you do have to evacuate. So we'll move on. Are there any apologies for absence, please?
Thank you, Chair. Apologies have been received from Councillor Mike Baldock, Councillor Charles Gibson, who's been substituted by Councillor Hannah Perkin, Councillor Elliot Jays, who's online, and Councillor Julian Speed, who's substituted by Councillor Peter Marchington. Thank you.
Thank you. We now move on to item 4, which is the appropriation of Cockleshell Walk Sittingbourne. And could I now please ask our officer, Charlotte Hudson, to introduce the report? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So, as everyone's seen in the agenda pack, the report outlines seeks approval of appropriation of the land at Cockleshell Walk, which is currently a surface car park, for planning purposes, and this will obviously enable the residential development that we have been pursuing at that site. I won't go into detail because I know everyone's read the report, and there is obviously a confidential appendix should anyone obviously wish to discuss that in a closed session. But just in kind of the key facts here really is that this land was formally appropriated under the Spirit of Sittingbourne scheme. However, we have taken some recent legal advice that feels that this appropriation needs to be done for this purpose separately, and this obviously will protect the council's risks and liabilities in terms of any injunctions or compensation payments that could come forward in terms of the land and development. As also set out in the report, is any of those costings have been factored into the development costs, so there are no additional financial issues in relation to this paper to the project budget, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Members, just quite a strong reminder that if we do need to move into blue paper territory and anyone wants to ask any questions on that, then we shall have to do so. In the meantime, any questions? Councillor Gold, please.
Sorry, just revealing my ignorance here, but what does it mean by appropriation, and what's the sort of legal, is there a legal explanation about that, just so that I can understand it a bit better?
I'll start and I might hand that over to a legal expert. So really it's about designation of the use of land. So at the moment we own it for the purpose of operating an operational car park. We're redesignating that to be a residential development.
Thank you. Members, anyone else? Any questions? Oh, Councillor Martin, please.
Only we skipped item 3 and I wanted to do a DNPI. Non-pecuniary interest. Swale Rainbow Homes.
Thank you.
Your plan, so
you're quite right.
Throw that up.
Can I just add to that? Obviously, I'm a director of the company as well, just for the records.
Thank you. Members, any other declarations of interest? Thank you. Thank you for pointing it out, Councillor Martin. Okay, I don't see any further hands in the air. Presumably you're all well acquainted with the report, sufficient enough to simply vote on it. Yeah. Councillor Marchington, please. Thank you, duly noted. Members, is there anybody that's got questions? Councillor Harrison.
Sorry, Chair, it's not a question because I'm also on Rainbow Homes and I presumed as we were there on behalf of the council, it wasn't an interest because we're there on behalf of the council.
Yeah, there's no reason why members can't proceed this evening with this, either because this matter is actually remote from their responsibilities as a director or because they were appointed in that way.
Thank you. So finally, is there any member that may wish to look at the blue papers, go into that territory for questions? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all. Right, could I have a proposer, please? Councillor Harrison, a seconder, Councillor Martin. Those in favour? That's unanimous, members. Oh, sorry? They're visiting. You're visiting, yeah, sorry. Okay. Well, that resolves the meeting in double quick time. Thank you all for attending, particularly those that's trailed in from some distances, like Councillor Perkin, Martin and Gold, and Councillor Marchington from the sunny Isle of Sheppey. Wish you all well for the rest of the evening, and if I don't see you before, all the very best to you and your families for the festive period. Thank you.